Thanks, Coach. Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Set! 230. 56. Watch the run. Watch the run. Check. Double go. Bang, bang, bang.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check 43. Jim.
First down, and it's Pollard again. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Coach, the city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 26-yard line.
Select 5. Alert, alert. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. These two. Let's get it. Any weapons. Check. Back.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Check 49. Show it up. 36. 30 seconds.
From the 29, Roethlisberger. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Select 20. Hey, we got Mike, number 50. Easy. Man, let's get some penetration here.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Eagles take over first down at their own 21-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now Wentz. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Mark Barrett came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Hey, orbit.
Wentz now to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
55. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want me.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, If you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
This is Samuels. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Snickers, now spin. Big dash.
From the 35 on second down, Roethlisberger. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 40. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Who's 30? 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Better bring it. Focus. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it. He's checking. Crash.
On second and 11 now, Roethlisberger, and he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Take both of them. Quarter. Black is good.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Wentz going to throw. He's got Smith here. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Wentz on third down, fighting to stay upright. Buying time, and he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 42 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Middle. Jack 16. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
From the 31, Roethlisberger. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Fletcher Cox, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a pickup of 7. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Kill. Check nickel. Monday. You draw quarter. Quarter. Big ass.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. Johnson with a burst, a 1st down and more. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Deontay Johnson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Now on 2nd and 16. Wentz. It's caught. Smith. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
A gain of 11 brings up 3rd and 4.
Here we go. Waiting. Max 50. They're going to need some therapy after this.
From the gun on 3rd down. Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. An Eagle 1st down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
Go.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Watch the curl. Check three. Let's go. Great.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole, because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Fletcher Cox in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Stay with your man. Check. Take both of them. He's coming.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Flushed out right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Mike 53. Get that quarterback. Hey, alert. 44. Here we go.
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Well, a good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Let's go, baby. Deuce. Easy.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Boswell's kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's
wide open, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football. Full half to be played. Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line. 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8. At the 27.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run on first down. It's Sanders, and he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz, and this one complete to Smith. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that's complete to Sanders. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. The first run for the backup, Abdullah. Still on his feet. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Here we go. Waiting. 55. Down the man inside, down the man. Hey, watch it.
On first down, it's Sanders. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Go. 180! 50, check. Hey, Ford, Tokyo! Use the mic.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw is Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's great. And he is going to lose yardage here. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
This will be taken in at the 1. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Defense, outside. It's outside. Get wide. Watch out.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch the run. Check.
On 2nd down, Samuels. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he finds McDonald. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
180. 53. Mike. Watch the pass. Here we go. These two. 6 guys. Check 6.
They'll run on first down. Pollard. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Check 15. Check 15. Pilot, 64. Weak.
On 2nd down, Samuels. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Tight right. Easy. Check. Watch A9. He's yours. Hatch it.
Now it's Roethlisberger. He gets this one to Johnson. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line. Roethlisberger now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Watch twist. Alert. Take 2 of them.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
I'm coming after you. Beat these 2. I'm coming after you. Check 37.
On first down, Pollard, and not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
And it's 3rd down.
Like 80. Mike 50. Pick it up. Check. Back. 77.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Take both of them. Any day. Rush in. Check 99. Alert 3.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
They come out here in the I. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
49.
First carry for James Conner. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal.
Switch. 8. Hey, Wood.
Here's Roethlisberger. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Let's go.
27-yard line.
Good.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
It's now 3rd down.
Throwing now is Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Check tight, check tight, check tight.
Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Sunday.
The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And my goodness, that means this next drive will begin 4 yards from the end zone already. Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Mike 56, Mike 56. What's the ball? Check. Check, hot. No. Easy. Mike's 56.
Roethlisberger. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 30, the 20, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Pollard. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Now Pollard, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Here we go, here we go. Like 80. I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Snickers. Snickers. Take both of them. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash. Switch, switch, switch. Watch that, watch that. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Snickers, 66.
Trying to run forward with Pollard. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Boswell's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wentz got his man complete over the middle. That's great. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
Go, go. 280! What's tight? Tight is right. 81, 81.
Back to throw. Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's caught at the 10. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was due in large part once again to the play of big number 7, their quarterback Ben Roethlisberger.
And as you and I both know, there can be some really good Big Ben days. There can be some not quite as good Big Ben days. But they're always going to be exciting, aren't they? He makes plays. He stands in the pocket and delivers against a fierce rush. He can exit out at times. There's something special about that guy, and no game is out of reach when he's on the field.
So for the Steelers,